Hello and welcome to Hear Me Out, the video game music show. We have a lovely special episode today. We're joined by a special guest, Marco. Welcome to the show.
Hi! Thanks for having me. Hey,
Thank you so
Daku.
much for
I know Daku.
hi Doku. Thank you so much for being here. It's really cool that you were able to join. Because to be honest, the like I think me and Ninja were talking a little bit about this, doing something like this for a while, and then one of your videos popped up in my feed again for the 100th time or
Oh,
something,
God.
and I was like, oh, right, like this is something that people do. We should maybe do this. So like in a way, your videos inspired this show to begin.
Oh,
So it's
I'm
really cool
really
to have you
glad.
on.
My
Yeah.
bandwidth is ass. Let me fix this bandwidth really quick. Hold on. I just realized I realized why. Hang on. I just realized I'm like downloading like 800 gigabytes of stuff. Hold on.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, been
that's so
there.
funny.
No worries.
I'm grateful that you feel that way, and sorry that I look like the
No
way
worries.
I look like right now. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to fix the bandwidth. If I can, ideally, that would be amazing.
Marco is like, oh man, I don't want these guys to see me. I don't want to be with these guys. You know, like
No, it doesn't look terrible, but I look blurry. It's all right. I'm converting. Sorry, I don't mean to steal from what you were saying, but I'm uploading all of my videos to OneDrive, and I forgot that takes like a lot of hours.
Oh right, yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's a good idea. I should also back mine up somewhere, but no.
But
not
no,
yet.
I'm glad. I mean, I think like video game music is so important, and
Yeah.
being able to have a space where you can talk about it is really, really awesome.
Yeah, it is,
I mean-
and it's also like in a sense it feels like a celebration of sorts. Of like let's just listen to, because and the fun thing is we all have usually such different tastes in games in general. So even if we pick from our favorite games, we probably still haven't heard each other's songs. We've realized quite quickly, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
It's always nice to broaden
That's the
your
power
minds.
of 40 years of music.
Yeah, definitely is. So who wants to start?
I think Purple wants to start.
I guess the last time we got in the argument, Ninja Guy. Gosh.
Yeah, you were fast, and I like it.
Yeah.
So talk us through it, Purple. What's
Well,
your pick here?
Yeah, so I've been meaning to do this, and this is going to come as no surprise. We've mentioned this composer's name many times for any video game music composers, none other than Gareth Coker. So not that. Also, I just I ordered the first pressing of the game that I'm going to be showing, which is Ori and the Blind Forest, the vinyl. So it's the original pressing. And the song I picked is Escape from the Genzo Tree. I said Genzo Tree, which is actually like a fairly hard thing to do, like to escape this in the game. And I've always loved this song. You die a ton of times trying to get out of this. And it was a really awesome thing for me to beat, but also to listen to. But then once I started digging into the song, like this actual track, there's a lot of different things in this track than other tracks. So the track is on rails. It's actually like about 20 different tracks all put together and spliced together. It's very, very different, but it just really goes with the game really well. And so I wanted to bring that out. Again, it's I think the music in games, for me at least, is like what really brings me in. And even though I was dying a ton at this challenge, it really brought me in. So if you want to play it, just for anybody, it's like this is actually a playthrough of that level. So if you haven't beaten that, this will be a playthrough. But you'll actually, as it's playing, one thing I would hope you'll notice is how the music. This is like actually 100. This is a no damn perfect run of this level, and how the level was meant to be kind of played on beat. So go ahead.
Yeah. So Time to Music is in the title.
I love that. Yeah.
Let's give it a go. And let me know if the volume should go up and down. It should be good, but you never know.
So this is the beginning of it. You're really happy. You just got a new ability. And also a beautiful game if y'all have not played it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
You think you're doing awesome up until this point, and then all hell's about to break loose.
Can you put the volume up a notch a little bit, Bjorn, if you don't mind?
And all of a sudden, the game starts, and you have to move up really fast. So what you can't see, because this is a perfect run, is that there's water tracing Ori up this tree. And this level is just really meant to, like I said...
We see the water there, yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to get up.
Oh, I remember that song now, yeah. It's a really good one.
That's the main theme, yeah.
It's a lovely melody.
Mm-hmm.
And what's cool, which they don't show right here, is when you die, it actually just picks up. Like, it's not like there's a cut. It just, like, kind of picks up at the bottom of this level again. And so, you would love for an amazing song like this to carry you as you die countless times.
I believe, that we would have that song on repeat, right? When you played that for the first time.
It's just going going and going as you're dying. This is not Purple's playthrough of this, by the way. I just want to put that out there. But it's a short one, but and this is actually a perfect playthrough. So you're actually going to get like a cutscene that you can only get during that playthrough. So it's actually pretty cool, and it's a series of like around 6 to 5 second. Or 5 to 6 second splices of tracks all put together. Wow. And so I think it was done really well, and you don't even notice it because it just comes together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's epic.
Yeah.
Almost have like a lot of it's crazy.
Bye, Ori.
No.
I agree, Daku TV. I think it's such an awesome feeling when you beat this, and that just music and everything. Just to me, Ori is just a beautiful game all the way around. And so I've been wanting to show off Gareth Coker for a while, and that's why I picked it. It's one of those songs that just really. Just to made Ori the Blind Forest, which I think is better than the other one, but that's debatable. But I like the Blind Forest, and it's just such a beautiful game.
Yeah,
I feel like Gareth Coker is so great at melody, which is such an important part of when we look at like the way that music is composed, right? Like we know that rhythm and melody and tempo, or those are the things that define our like emotional attachment to music, and melody is just so is my favorite. Just because of the way that it can really like it tugs at your heartstrings, and that theme, we know that theme, and that theme like carries us through that combat. I mean, I wouldn't mind dying 50 times listening to that because it's too short. Otherwise, it's only 2 minutes.
It's only 2 minutes, but it's going to take you probably 2 days.
2 weeks probably.
So that's to me why it seemed like such. Oh, this will be an amazing track, and then I see basically a perfect run, and it's like 1:30 actually. But in your mind, it is a much longer track. So
no, it is a great melody, like the and also very iconic melody. Like I can hear that melody anywhere, and like that's Ori. Like,
that's Ori, exactly.
And I haven't even played the game more than I've seen some gameplay of it, like for maybe 30 minutes tops, and I still know the theme that well.
The I'm very picky when it comes to orchestrated scores. You know me, but Ori is one that really nailed it, and I listened to it so many times. I think that the reason is because when I tried the demo on Switch when it first came out on there, and the intro was so emotional, right? And with the song, I think the connection made it so that I really, really enjoyed the music. And then when I start listening to it off my playtime, I'm just being remembered by these emotional parts of this game. So I think the mix up makes it so much more interactive and more enjoyable.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because this conversation has been popping up a lot over on my community, and I've been sort of I made a video about it not too long ago last week about context, and if context in music, like how much like we know that video games obviously are the music is aiding us in telling a story and stuff, and they're essentially modern operas, but the question that has to come up is, does context matter? I think in this case, the melody line is beautiful on its own. You don't necessarily need to see something to know that the melody is beautiful, but it is crazy. Like that opening section is so heartfelt and so like pure, and to hear that music in that moment, that's what makes it special. It's a really interesting thing that music and visuals can do together.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, if you have the context, it adds a lot more to it. But a lot of so much video game music can be very much enjoyed without the context as well. And like especially the ones with strong themes like this one.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'll say, and then we'll go. What I think is amazing about this is if you played Ori, it's all about the freedom of movement, right? You're hopping and you're doing all these double jumps. And normally in the game, when you're kind of going kind of this dungeon crawler type of game, when you look at the map, the music switches based upon where you are on the map. So and you'll see that throughout the game. Like you'll be in one part of the map, you go to another part, the music changes. This part of the game, though, it doesn't do that. It's like the only part of the game that's basically, as I mentioned before, on rails. So if you think about on rails, like think Star Fox, like the game is constantly pushing you forward. This game kind of is like that in a hybrid situation. And so it is actually really amazing what they did with this. If you go back and watch it and listen to it and realize how many different tracks there are spliced together, but it just seems like it kind of goes with the entire movement and playability of the game. So I thought that was also really cool.
Yeah, something that I hear a lot with developers is when they approach a composer who has no experience in video game composition, the first thing that they realize is that they don't just have to create music, right? They have to like make it so it changes at certain places and things like that. And it's just not something that new composers of video game realize when they start. It's a much bigger project usually than they expect, because it's not just composing video game. It's just trying to match with whichever parts you are fluently and all of that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the timings and everything is a really big deal. I was just talking with a guest that I'm gonna have on the channel next week, and he does a lot of session work, and he was talking about how essentially like they don't necessarily know what it's gonna. I mean, I'm sure Gareth Coker knows what it sounds like as he's writing, right? But like sometimes they don't know what it's gonna sound like when you get a choir and stuff. And obviously Ori has like soprano soloist and obviously I'm pretty sure it's fully orchestrated and stuff. So getting into the session and then like having to time things out and stretch things out and change things, it's such an interesting thing. You know what I mean? It's so cool.
And a surprisingly large amount of that nowadays is happening programmatically in like by the game engine. Like there's a tool called Elias software that an old colleague of mine used to work for, that is like designed basically to game states affecting the music and layering and doing that in real time within the engine. There's a bunch of different tools for that, which is really some really cool technology being at work. And I know a lot of composers, I think Austin Wintory in particularly loves this, interactivity of video game music compared to it otherwise. So like an album version of a soundtrack is never the same as in the game anymore. Which is a bit sad in a way. But.
Yeah, but when they do a contract with the composers, they have to do two separate contracts. Right? They have to do the one for the game and the one for the
soundtrack album,
the original soundtrack. Yeah, which is pretty crazy.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not all the time, but I know that
a lot of the time. Yeah.
Some of the professional ones. Yeah.
Some that if we have time, we can maybe talk about for an upcoming game. For example, I know that Austin Wintory, the composer of that, he said that he's made 4 different soundtrack albums for that game because there was no way he could do it in one, because it's a branching game, it's a branching narrative, but it's branching within songs. So Stray Gods, like he's branching within every single track, So it's like it has like one album with like only the green choices, and like the one with only the empathic choices, one with the aggressive choices, and then one with what left over, because there's like thousands of variations of each song.
I love that.
This the Baldur's Gate of music.
It very much is, and it was initially coming out on the same day as well, which I found very funny.
Oh God!
But now it's been pushed to August 10th. So
that's a good idea.
Let's move on to the next song. Marco, you've picked one of my absolute favorites. Want to intro it?
Oh yes,
one of the best Assassin's Creed. Yes.
Well, so there was a period of my life where I was a little bit behind on console releases, and so I had a PlayStation 2 for a really long time. Also, sorry that my video camera quality is poop. I apologize. Essentially what happened was I was going over to my friend's house, and he was playing Assassin's Creed 2 on his, I think it was his Xbox. I forget what Xbox this
360,
came out on.
right?
Was it 360?
I think
probably was, because it was like 2000 and 11-ish. Well, that was a long time ago. Wow.
It really was.
And and so being Italian, I was immediately entranced, because I was like, wait, so you're like running around Florence and like you're doing like, this is really crazy to me. And then at the time, the Ezio collection doesn't allow this, which I'm so disappointed by, but you're not allowed, you can't change the language. But at the time I changed the language to Italian, and it was really, really comforting for me, because I was also relearning, having been in the States for such a long time, I was relearning some of my sort of like, it was like watching an interactive Italian movie and practicing my Italian stuff.
Cool.
And it was so cool. Yeah. And so then when Brotherhood came out, I lived in Rome as a child, and so Brotherhood to me was really, really powerful, because you're climbing atop the Pantheon.
It's like, I've been there. I've been there.
Colosseum. Yeah, that's exactly what it was like, and like going underneath the catacombs. And I've always been if I didn't go into school for music, I would have gone into for opera. Or sorry, I did do that for history. So for me, it was like really, really, I don't know, like merged. That's why I love Red Dead Redemption as well. Like anything historically based, I'm like very, very, very into. So anyway, so I was having a really hard time with this, because you said pick one, and I was like, okay, well,
I know it's horrible.
Well, and also I've listened to so much video game music that I actually don't remember what my favorite pieces are anymore, because I'm listening to such a wide berth of good stuff. But this one really stuck out to me as I was thinking, so that's what I picked.
Yeah, and I just guess it, like, I guess I remember. It's funny you said you played it in Italian, because like I don't speak Italian at all. But for my second playthrough of the game, I actually did play through it in Italian, just with English subtitles, just to have the full experience.
Cool.
It was like,
it's just so cool.
Yeah, it adds so much to have the original language.
I was so disappointed but that's the same thing with Unity, though. Like I was really disappointed that they went with like a British accent. Like they should have just done like full Parisian, like, or full French. Like just go in. Like if you're gonna make a historical game, I get it, but like that's my own. Never mind. That's a separate issue.
Yeah, no, I agree. It would have been, at least it was the option. I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah, let's have a listen to what I agree is the best track of this album, this game.
Yeah.
It's also funny because this theme is so iconic. Like
I was exactly about to say that.
Yeah. Like Assassin's Creed didn't have a main theme, and then this just became it.
Yeah.
Like Assassin's Creed 1 was good, but the second one was on a whole other level,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was genre defining, I feel.
Yeah.
For action game.
Definitely.
So Marco, would you say that this is like opera singing, or
no?
Would you not consider? Okay.
No, this is. I mean, there are parts where it becomes opera in the way that the vocalism is, like right here, the way she approaches the upper register. But no, I don't think that this is. I wouldn't call this opera. I would call this like, this is just singing to me. No, because there's not a vibrato and stuff and other like defining things. but this could be. It's a mix.
Like the singer is probably has some opera skills.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But this almost sounds computerized though, so I don't. I think it's a real singer.
Yeah,
interesting.
Like, in a sense, it reminds me of the very. I think in some of this Fellowship of the Ring soundtrack pieces, there was this young British boy who was like 12 or 13, who could sing like this. Reminds me of him.
There's a live version that is very much a operatic in quality, but I think the straight tone is intentional. Yeah. But like this part, when there's the climb up, like that's very, in a way, having it straight tone is more effective than having spinning vibrato where the notes kind of blur together in a legato. It's much more interesting, I think, to have it be like super pared down like this. And I think more vulnerable, you know, especially when you think about like the journey that Ezio goes on. It's so good.
Yeah, it really is.
I just started playing this again the other day. This part is just so great with his brother.
Yeah, like when I first heard this, the distorted guitar came in. I was like, right, you can add all kinds of elements that I normally wouldn't expect from an orchestral score into Assassin's Creed, just because thanks to the animus, it just works. Yeah, it might be a bit low.
You know what? Yeah, put that up a little bit.
Thank you, Neil.
Oh yeah, can you put the volume a little bit higher, Bjorn?
Something like that. Is that better?
There's no difference.
Yeah, there's no difference.
Okay.
Maybe.
It's there, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
There we go.
I would put it up more probably.
Thank you, Asteria. Melissa R. Kaplan. Did not know.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Asteria.
But yeah, this is great. Like I feel it's been a while since I finished Assassin's Creed 2. I think it was back in 2013. But this song plays like during like moments of truth, right? Like really important moments. Like I'm trying to refresh my memory. It's been a while.
Well, definitely the very beginning with the brother, and then I think it probably comes back, but I can't remember now.
Yeah, maybe at the very end.
Yeah, at the very end it comes.
At the very end, and because the first time you hear it, it's when you they have this moment where they say we live a great life, brother. Yes, the very best, or something like that, and you get the panoramic shot of the city and the logo.
Okay.
After you do the race up to the top of the tower, I it's been probably 10 years since I played it, and I still remember it vividly.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy. It also reminds me that back then they released a picture disc of it, and it was called like Jesper Kid's greatest best Assassin's Creed moments or something like that. It was a very cool picture disc, and it has like all of these great Assassin's Creed songs. It's a very good vinyl to own.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like he's obviously his theme has been like adapted or almost covered by a lot of composers by now. But I do love the fact that they brought him back to collaborate on Valhalla. I think that was
that's nice.
That was very nice. But yeah, I think if you want to really deep dive into it, I think I don't know which episode that is, but in one of the episodes of the Play Watch Listen podcast, Austin Wintory talks a bit about how his process of writing the Syndicate theme of a version of this.
Cool.
So it's pretty cool that it became so iconic as well, you know.
Yeah. Like I think it's it's almost not quite, but almost Zelda level of iconic at this point.
It's definitely. It's one of these songs, you know, that stands out there as modern music. You know, like it definitely stands out there. At least one of the top 10. You know, you hear that, you'd hear like the God of War team, and all of these big
Halo
ones, you know.
The
Halo, there you go. That's a good one.
Maybe not as popular as Halo. I feel like Halo crossed I feel like the Halo theme song crossed the cultural zeitgeist, and a lot of people haven't played Halo, but they know the theme song, right? But then I feel like gamers know, you know, the Assassin's Creed.
That was a good example. Yeah.
No, I think Assassin's Creed, the one thing I like, obviously, it's Ubisoft, and we know Ubisoft really puts a premium on artistic direction. So, and then Halo, kudo points if y'all can say who the composer for Halo is.
It's been a while.
Marty O'Donnell and Michael Salvatore.
Yeah. I've seen an interview with Marty, like a 2-hour interview with it when he just deep dove into it. But I don't remember much of it, to be honest. But yeah, it's a really I think that name, especially like Salvatore as well, is because isn't he?
He's the composer for Destiny 2.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
Lewin and all that crew.
I think you have to have had experienced it back then, because you played Halo, you remember the song, it was great, the team song, you loved it. Then you play Halo 2 and they up the team song up a notch, and when you hear the transition from the first to the second with the, I can't remember, but it's a famous guitar composer, right, who did like the solo of it and stuff like that. It was just crazy to see how you could put a team song and make it even better.
Wasn't it John Mayer? Was John Mayer?
I don't think. No, I have Joe Satriani in my head, but it's not him. It's like a it's a very like popular. You know what? Let me Google it. It's
yeah. And while you do, I can also mention there is a I'm a big fan of Austin Wintory, and one of the things that I really love about him is that he has his like interview series where he basically just sits down with other composers and talk for 2 hours. The one he did with Jesper Kyd about a year ago is a great recommendation. They talk a lot about, especially Assassin's Creed, but also things in general.
Yeah,
it was Steve Vai, the guy. Yeah, he basically so the composers showed him the song and he basically just improvised. Yeah, in front of it. It was pretty cool. There's a YouTube video about it too if you guys are interested. Yeah.
Drop it and I'll save it for later.
Yeah,
need something to watch while cleaning the house tomorrow.
Very nice.
So yeah, but anyway, since you're talking, what is this? Like,
yeah, okay. So I knew Marco was coming in, and I kept debating myself, like, what am I gonna put in here? Of course, I wanted to try to find like an opera song, but there's barely any that I'm familiar of.
There's not a ton.
Opera song.
Yeah,
what's that?
There's not a ton. There's probably like 20, 30 maybe.
So the first one that I thought was Final Fantasy VI, right? They had
Draco Maria.
you know exactly what I mean, like the opera house. I can't remember the name of the song, but
Draco Maria.
Oh, okay. And they made like a remake, but I just felt like it was too cheesy. And then there was Parasite Eve, right? Because there's that opera.
Se l'amore sta vicino, yeah.
They're very nice, but like the song has like it's like MIDI composition, so yeah, again, it just didn't felt right. Yeah. So I decided to go with this, which is not opera, unfortunately, but so what it is basically the composer of Chrono Trigger, Yasunori Mitsuda. He came up with this band called Millennial Fair, and they made some recompositions basically of Chrono Trigger, and I think Chrono Cross. I can't recall just like that, but anyway, so they did some songs, and this is the a recomposition of Scala's Theme, which is my second favorite song of Chrono Trigger. Cool. And basically, I've heard a lot of people talk about this. Some people say that it's like the Celine Dion version of Chrono Trigger. I love when they say that. Yeah,
that's a special way to put it.
Yeah, so I own the vinyl. This was actually when I started collecting vinyl. This was my number one most wanted vinyl that I wanted, and I ended up like acquiring like 2 copies at some point. But it was pretty rare back then. But anyway, so yeah, I got really into that, and but that's decomposition. You'll notice, Bjorn, that it has like the kind of instrument that I'm really into, like the desert type of like tantrums and stuff like that. So
yeah,
you'll
I
notice
think I know
that.
which one. Yeah, let's give it a listen.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have to turn it up again. I think.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
I'm probably gonna not talk a lot because I'm always mesmerized when I listen to that song.
I like the percussionist.
Yeah, that's what I love.
Any reason for the Nier vibes?
Ah, yeah, it does. I mentioned that. This was composed in 2015. I never noticed that there was like two singers in them. Like one in the back also.
Yeah, the harmony.
Yeah, very interesting use of the bass. Agreed.
Yeah, really good. It's like Yasunari's signature, right? Like he loved using that type of bass.
Yeah, he does.
So yeah, it's an album that I listened quite a lot. I never get tired of it. The whole album is so good. So I don't know. Yasunari Mitsuda to me is like when you hear his music, I feel like he doesn't just compose. He actually like goes and think about it. You know, like I feel like he has a lot of emotions and he wants to do something different. And every time like he puts his full his full he works fully on one game. Like it's always different. Like you can hear like still his signature stuff, but I feel like he always brings something new to his stuff, you know. So but anyway, I just wanted to mention that. And I love that he just came and revisit, you know, his older games and did something really obsessional out of it. So yeah, I'm happy that I can share that with you guys.
Yeah, I've never heard any of the music from Chrono Trigger.
So,
I have never even played it, so I think I need to. But like, yeah, I mean that was really. It's funny how like what I like about Yasunori Mitsuda is I think of like Scars of Time from Chrono Cross. Yes. It has a similar energy to it, but like it's amazing how he's able to, like, just like very simple instruments and just like a very like delicate singing voice he can elicit so much like raw emotion, and you don't even really know what the emotion is, but it just makes you feel like this sort of, I don't know. It's
there's
very
a story to it somehow. Right?
Yeah. It's beautiful stuff.
Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I think like he's saying, "Hey, Remy," I think that he sang the chorus like 4 times, right? But he always tried to like do something a little bit different during every chorus. Like there's this one time he decided to do a little bit of strumming on the acoustic guitar, just to add a little bit. The second time he just put a little bit more power to it. I can't recall exactly what instrument he put in it, but yeah, so it doesn't feel, like it's always the same kind of thing, the same kind of chorus that he's singing. So I like that also.
Well, it can get very boring very quickly if you're not careful. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I think my first run-in with his music was when I went to this. There was this touring video game symphony called Play that toured the world like 15 years ago, and they had a Chrono Trigger, like obviously with I think it was a medley of sorts, like 5-minute medley of just different Chrono Trigger melodies. And I think, and when that, the main theme melody with the flute kicked in the first time, I was like sold on the whole soundtrack. And I think I've never played the game, but I've listened to the soundtrack so many times.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that guy has like a little bit of history too. Like, I think that he was working for Square before he started composing. I think that he was only working on sound design back then, but he was really, really working hard to try to be a composer, right? Like he kept begging Square Enix high ups to make video game music, and he finally ended up getting the gig for Chrono Trigger. And he worked so hard on that soundtrack that he ended up getting ulcers, I think. And I think that he couldn't finish like 3 or 4 songs or something like that. So Nobuo Uematsu, which everybody is familiar with, the composer of Final Fantasy, had to come in and finish the remaining songs that he had, because because I think he was working too hard for that soundtrack or something.
Wow.
And
that's dedication.
Yeah.
Meanwhile. Oh no, I was just gonna say. Meanwhile, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 has like however many. It has like 100 and some odd. Like there's like 4 discs or something crazy.
Yeah. So I think that he only worked for Square for 3 games: Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, and Xenogears. And then he decided to be a contractor. So I think that's what helped him a little bit. He just worked on his own terms, right? So he probably had a big learning experience out of it, and he knows what he's doing now. Something that we notice a lot is that nowadays he always work along with like a company, a musical company or something like that. So that probably helps him a lot too.
Yeah, because you have other people that are working with you to help arrange and orchestrate, and that way you're not to do all that by yourself. It's terrible. Can't even imagine doing all that.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's collaboration is key in a lot of these cases for sure.
Yeah.
So for my pick, I actually went with my the main theme of my most played game on Steam. It's not my most played game ever, but I think it's second, which is the main theme of Europa Universalis by Paradox Interactive here in Stockholm. And the music is written by Andreas Waldetoft, and I don't know if he is a contractor or if he works there, because he's basically done all the soundtracks for the Paradox Development Studio games. But I don't know if he's done anything else.
Oh wow! Okay.
But so maybe he works like full time with audio and music over there. I don't know, but he's really talented. And I mean, I think the first song that I showed you, Nina, when we started this show out was the Stellaris main theme, which is also made by the same guy. So but this
was my gosh, really?
Yeah,
I love
that. So this is obviously set, this was written for a game that released. I think in 2 weeks, this game is 10 years old, and I actually worked on the support team extra hours when this game launched, which was really fun. There was a lot of tickets coming in.
Is it a strategy game?
Yeah, it's a grand strategy game where you basically you pick any nation in the world that existed in 1404, and then you play from 1404 up to 1820, and then the game ends. So one playthrough of the game with any nation takes about 50 hours, maybe. So it's one of those like you're basically just controlling the nation. You have these random events popping up. Some of them are historical, some of them are random. And you can play as any nation in the world, any city-state you want. You can play as Venice or Ulm, or you can.
And they're all different scenarios and stuff.
You can choose different scenarios to start, like different starting points in time, which will then have different. But otherwise, you can if you start in 1404, you have like I think 500 different nations to pick from, and then you can try to like from as Venice create Italy, or as like Castile create a Mediterranean powerhouse of Spain. Or you can play as any of the city-states in in India and try to unite India. You basically just define your own terms.
Wow.
But yeah, so this is the main theme for Europa Universalis. It's called The Voyage.
Can you turn it up, Bjorn?
Yep. So it's obviously written to span 400 years of history, which is quite a lot.
There's Marco, 10 years old. 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of looked like me a little bit.
And there's Purple Haze in 10 years.
What?
Yes, Taco, I agree. Like the Sabaton collab they did was amazing.
Wow.
Main themes to music like this is so interesting because the only frame of reference I have is Christopher Tin. So to hear something different, because they're painting a picture about like multiple different places at the same time. It's so interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's I think Christopher Tin is probably the closest one composer in terms of like the style of music they end up with writing. And I love that they did like an orchestration video like this officially, like while they were recording. Like yes, let's just record the orchestra while we do it.
Yeah, it's special. Doesn't happen nearly enough.
Nice.
Where's the chorus?
Yeah, the chorus. I was thinking the exact same thing.
They probably pre-recorded them and then just layered them over top. Or they're up in the balcony, but that doesn't make sense. No.
Wow. That was so good. Oh, I love it. Where do you find these songs? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so like I've heard this song so many times because this is basically the song you hear while you try to decide who do I pick, and then you have a loading screen. But yeah, and as Daku pointed out, like the amount of great music this game has produced, because this game has been getting DLCs with and music packs for that adds even more music to the game for 10 years. So there's like so much music written for this game, and with like all focuses on all different cultures, and I don't think a single one of them is bad.
I know. Anytime you get to the bassoons get a little camera angle, I'm like, yes, it's like like the piccolo, any of those type of instruments, I'm always cheering. So it had everything for me.
Yeah, and there's even a music pack you can buy for like I think it's $1 or something, or the basic price, and then that's on sale regularly. That adds like metal covers of like a couple of the battle songs and the main theme.
Whoa!
So instead of having this main theme when you load up the game for the game, you instead get a metal cover of it, which is really cool.
I bet that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
One part that I really liked in the song, and it's not. I don't feel like it's something that we hear a lot, but it's. I don't know if it was the piccolo, but it's the flute that does like. I don't know how to explain it, but it's something that I don't know. It feels very cool hearing that in that song. I just like it. It's not something that I hear a lot.
Well, it's so motivating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like really, like it's like pick your starting place.
Do it. And then it's like. I think they at some point had some sort of a tagline that was something like along the lines of like history is in your hands or something like that, and it's like this feels like I have like you have so many options to do with the world what you will, and then at the end of the day it's basically a map painting game. Like you have a massive world map, and then it's like I think the real time as in I think it's 1 second is 1 day in the game if you do it on normal speed.
Oh my god!
And then you can of course fast forward to 5 times that speed, but it's like it takes you quite a while to go through it. But and then you micromanage, you move around the map, and at the end of the day, it's just painting your color into more pieces of the map. That's the end goal.
Is there evolution in the game, like Civilization, like where technology advanced and stuff like that?
In a sense, but it's made like you can now increase the technology, and that means your troops are now able to retrain and upgrade into better like more modernized units. But it's still like that just means you do more damage or you take less damage. It's like there isn't any gameplay changes to maybe in that sense.
Okay.
But then you have the same things like when you unlock the ability to start colonizing the world, then you suddenly go out and send ships out with and armies to protect the colonizers, and that obviously changes things up. But it's it's not like it's quite different from Civilization. This is mainly basically more closer to Solaris in the gameplay, or Hearts of Iron.
That's interesting. Yeah, those games I think of like Anno 1800 or
also good. Like that was I was deciding between do I pick the Anno 1800, Anno 1404, or do I pick this one? That was what like I spent a week debating which one to pick for this.
Nice.
So we know what your favorite style of game is.
Oh yeah, I'm a big strategy gamer. I grew up playing strategy games, so yeah, this is like and also like Anno. Also, like the Anno 1800s specifically have a quite also like this similar feel of the soundtrack, I think.
Yeah, that's sort of like a historical docu-series quality to them.
Like the really epic old classical music, but with a slight modern touch.
Yeah.
You'll definitely need to show us that sometime because I'm curious.
I think I'll do Anno next month.
Nice.
Nice. Yes, because I have to. I've kept them waiting for too long. But yeah, no, I mean, I like if you enjoy this one, there's like I think 100 different tracks to at this point probably.
Cool.
Nice.
With
Keep us
feel.
busy.
Yeah.
I don't know
so-
if we have time for maybe chat to suggest a song, or I don't know if we
Yeah,
have the time.
Yeah, we have time for like one more tune. I
Yeah,
think.
if we want one more tune, my suggestion is actually that we do take a look at, if you guys want to, the song "Adrift," which is the first single from Stray Gods.
Oh yeah, I would
Sure,
love
that's
that.
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So, because I'm very hyped for this game.
And remind chat when Stray Gods comes out, Bjorn.
Yeah, so Stray Gods is a role-playing musical. It comes out August 10th. Music written by, or composed by Austin Wintry. The lyrics is written by a musical team done in Australia that I don't remember the name of at this point. But it's basically a visual novel style meets RPG. The script is written by the guy who wrote Dragon Age from BioWare. And obviously the voice cast is all-star voice cast with Laura Bailey and Ashley Johnson in this one, but then there's also musical stars. Yeah, Critical Role cast, like a lot of people from Critical Role. Troy Baker from Last of Us is in here as well, not in this track, but in others. And it's basically you basically play through this storyline, and just as in the Telltale games, you get to pick your what you want to say or do in different situations. But you do that during the actual songs. So you have there's this, the option pops up, and you have a couple of seconds to choose, during which the songs keeps going. But then if you then pick the maybe more aggressive route, like personality trait, then that will also add in different elements, maybe adding in a distorted guitar or a saxophone, for example. Whereas if you go another route, you get other instruments. So I guess branching storyline, but within music, and it's a musical about Greek gods. Yeah, this is the first single out, and just one of the many versions on how this song could sound.
Like a boat lost at sea with no sails.
So this is Laura Bailey singing.
Not a breeze.
Of Critical Role fame.
I am drifting cold waters, no star to be seen. Is the world too much, or is it just me? Everything I set upon unravels at my feet. Everything I've learned wasted on a girl who doesn't know how to be free.
Rasper, you may not have heard of her, but you have heard her. She's in hundreds of video games. The voice actress.
With no sails, not a breeze. I am drifting cold waters, no star to be seen. With the fire furious, I have burned my tongue. Grief from all the promises, too many dreams unsung. All the steps I didn't take and paths proved untrue. Is there any path through? Like a boat lost at sea. Oh, I'm about to with no sails. Not a you still have your life ahead. I am drifting cold waters, no star to be seen. All things that lose their way can find it again.
Yes, David, this is the game.
There is no inertia in the ocean. Maybe if I paddle hard enough, I'll fight the waves, try to be tough. Can I belong to the sea? Like a boat lost at sea, with no sails, not a breeze. I am drifting cold waters, no star to be seen.
Oh man, I need to play this game.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so good.
It's definitely interesting to do it that way, to have musical choices. That's really interesting to me.
Yeah, and like the way it does that, like during in the middle of the song, it just branches. I think Austin said something along the lines that his the total amount of permutations of different songs, and you end up with, if you count them as different songs, you end up with about 1,000 songs written for this game.
Wow.
Obviously, it's like each song, then maybe it's like 20 songs or 40 maybe in the end, but yeah, I think he said he worked on this game pretty intensively for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine what that's like.
Yeah, it's
That's
definitely an interesting one. I think it's the first role-playing musical, and as I think they said something along the lines like, we understand why it's the first one. Like, this was
Can
a
you
stupid
imagine-
project to do, but we love that we did it.
Can you imagine they do that in real life? Like they would have like the crowd decide on the fly, like they make the decision of what they do, and then they'd have to change the song. Maybe that's just wishful thinking, but that would be crazy.
It would be really cool.
Push a button and choose one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that has been done in some small capacity at some point.
I've seen it like in IMAX, right? Like for movies and stuff like that, but I've never seen it with like real.
Yeah,
real
I think they did for some Journey concert. I think Austin did something like that.
Wow.
They had people, the audience could affect the what happened on the screen, and then that affected what they played. It was quite like nothing to this scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like this game is coming out in a week, like 1.5 weeks. So I'm excited for it. It's gonna be like an all-star cast with like both Broadway stars and A-list voice actors.
Cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. But before we leave, I know, Mark, you need to run quite soon, and I need to head. And I should run to bed as well because it's late here. But before we do, Marco, what do you have planned for anything the viewers can look forward to in the next week?
Oh, in the next week? I'm dropping another I shared some music with, been doing every other couple days. I've been having someone come on the channel. And so at the end of next week, I'll have another one with a really interesting British guy who was my former professor, and he's really hit some insight and stuff. And other than that, just the usual, I just dropping videos, and I have like 59 video ideas, and like I'm trying to upload, like I said, 93 videos to my OneDrive here. So just keeping on doing the thing,
Yeah.
Just keeping on. It's my day job.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Yeah,
I guess for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Purple, what about you? What do you have planned for next week?
Well, not a Shades of Purple this week, so I'll be out of town mid-week type of deal. But I will be finishing up What Remains of Edith Finch this Sunday coming up. So, and then another episode of Shades of Purple next week. And I would love to have Marco, if you want to come on. Both Ninja Guy and Bjorn have come on to tell their gaming journey. So I would want to.
That sounds fun.
If it's okay. But we'll set that sometime.
Yeah, we can talk about that. That sounds good.
Yeah. And Ninja, what's in your plans?
Yeah, just little games. But tomorrow I have my Netflix Games podcast as usual. Not a lot of news though, so I don't know if it's actually going to last for an hour. but we'll be talking about 2 new games that came out, and then tomorrow I'll probably be streaming some Cut the Rope Daily, which came out today, and just casual stuff for now. But that's pretty much what I have planned for this week.
Yeah. And I'll be trying on Thursday when Baldur's Gate drops.
Right.
I'll be trying to do something weird that to get 2 people or more to play the same quests simultaneously, and then I'll try to show different like the same quest in different with different choices live. I don't know how that will work out.
That's gonna be fun because you know it will be different. I can't. wait.
Yeah. It's like I think I would like we're just gonna run straight for the Druid Grove and then see like 2 completely different characters, one evil, one good, to see just how different this is.
Yeah.
And jump between the different sessions on the stream.
Cool.
I can't wait.
My plan.
I can't wait.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I can't wait for the game. I've been waiting for this game for a long time. And also the music should drop when the game drops. So like the soundtrack album.
Yeah,
so
and Borislav is pretty good, and they're pretty kind about copyright stuff. Larian
that's good.
Studios, Larian Studios. So that's on my to-do list.
And then on my other channel, I'm gonna keep doing Taylor Swift reactions because I didn't go to their concert in May, and I don't listen to a lot of the music as it is. So doing a journey on of trying to learn to enjoy her music, which is going quite well. She's very good. It's a lot of Taylor Swift content over there. Yeah.
Awesome.
But
thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah,
really
thank you so much for being here.
it.
It was a blast to have you on. Thank you so much for everyone for joining us, and check out Stray Gods, check out these amazing creators, and we'll see you in a month or so for the next one. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye. Everyone.